Monster Hunter is going back to the oceans. Let's go ahead and talk about that. What is up, guys? It's Young Guy, and welcome to a little discussion video that, of course, you've seen in the title and thumbnail, what I would like to call Monster Hunter Oceans, where we will discuss the future and endless possibilities of the future of Monster Hunter. But before we dive headfirst into this long video, it would be extremely helpful to know that you support me and as well as the rest of this channel if you would kindly like, subscribe, and watch all the way to the end, and you may be treated to a little special secret surprise that you probably may or may not care to know about. But without further ado, let's get right into the entry to the franchise. So without further ado, let's dive right into the exhibits. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Exhibit A, the news. Okay, to keep this a little exhibit brief, let's just go over with some of a few small key events that you should really pay attention to. Capcom is celebrating its 40th anniversary on June 11th and the 12th. All Sunbreak updates that are on the Nintendo Switch and PC will be updated to the PlayStation and Xbox as of August. The mobile game will also be may or may not be released on September, but the one thing you should really pay attention to is the big release that will be happening in the Tokyo Game Show that will be happening as of September 21st to the 24th, which is a pretty big deal because we do not know what this new entry to the franchise may be, whether it's Monster Hunter World 2, Monster Hunter Paradise, or, say it with me now, Monster Hunter Oceans. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking. Yen Guy, why are you so obsessed with Monster Hunter and the ocean? Well, to understand that, we'll have to go back in time to a simple time where the internet wasn't even a big thing yet. Okay, that is way too far back, maybe a little bit more forward to, the Wii era. Yeah, there it is, that's better. Now, back in 2009 through 10, Monster Hunter Tri was released, bringing with it new mechanics including a stamina bar, which is a new concept that is still holding strong to the franchise as a whole. And of course, we also experienced for the very first time underwater combat and exploration, which has proven to be quite a divisive mechanic, with one group of people, including myself, actually enjoying the thrill of underwater combat, seeing new worlds and fighting new monsters, while the other is, well, thinking it's the worst thing that could possibly happen to the franchise. And with this divide, it was never to be introduced again, which is tragic because I actually wanted to happen again! But you know, there is actually one thing that everyone agrees on, and that is none other than the Lord of the Seas himself, Lagiacrus, is an absolutely welcome and extremely popular addition to the franchise, and people love him so much that he would actually re-enter the franchise in a few minor roles, including not just one storyline character in Monster Hunter stories, but also again in the second game, and you can actually have it as a Monstie. And if you actually don't believe me, they actually wanted to bring him back in Monster Hunter World when it was first announced. And they actually did a demo with not just the Lord of the Skies swooping down to take out our favorite sneezing dinosaur, but instead, well, we see this. Yes, I know. It would have been so awesome if he was actually reintroduced in World. And actually, he was so close to being in Monster Hunter World. Except, of course, there had to be a lot of various technical issues. And fun fact, the Wildspire Waste was actually supposed to be a coastal region with various corals and crawly thingies and fish. But due to the Lagiacrus not being able to make it, it is now the wasteland that we all know and love. So as a sort of apology and quite possibly the most romantic love letter to the fans, we are introduced to the Coral Highlands. And later on in Sunbreak, we are also introduced to one of the most unique and well-beloved member of the Elder Dragons, Namielle. And of course, after Monster Hunter World is done, we are now introduced to Monster Hunter Rise, which brings us to Exhibit B, Leviathans. Now, to keep this exhibit brief as possible, from the previous exhibit as we've seen before, World and Iceborne doesn't have any Leviathans, but having other monsters that fill the void. But in Rise, we have Somnicanth and Almudron, Royal Ludroth, and that stupid fox that has been fucking my wife! Sorry, his name is Mizusune. God, I really need to talk to a therapist after that. Anyway, with those introductions, we now see a confirmation of the Leviathans fully recognized and returning to the franchise. But we should also talk about the Elder Dragons in the forms of Narwa and Iabushi. And did I also forget to mention there's also Amatsu, which I still haven't been able to play because it's not on PlayStation yet. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yengai, these Elder Dragons fly through the air. Well, you are right. But then again, I wouldn't say that they are actually flying, as they are swimming through the air! I mean, yes, they're swimming animations. I mean, you don't see wings on them. You don't see them being propelled by rockets or massive explosions. No. These serpents of the sky are swimming! So, you could definitely tell that Capcom wanted to bring some form of swimming mechanics into the play. In some form or another. And, I mean, of course, that's a debatable topic, but that's what probably lead us to Exhibit C, swim gear. Now, what do I mean by swim gear? Well, let's begin in World and Iceborne. Specifically, the aquariums. Now, obviously, you're probably wondering, why are we talking about fish? I mean, fishing has been a mechanic since the very beginning of the first game. Well, you'd be right, but why include aquariums at all? Which, it's a very nice display you have for your little living space. I say quote unquote. But then, in Rise, we actually see submarines. I mean, it's cute seeing our Palicos and Palamudes go diving, and kind of wonder what kind of monsters you actually may imagine them seeing them while traveling down there. But the one little detail that you should really pay attention to is the layered armor or skin. No, that is the diving suit. I mean, you see it in World, I mean, it's pretty cute, it's a summer festival. But then, why is this specific layered armor available in Monster Hunter Rise? The game after Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. Could this this be by any chance starting armor or a default skin like we see in the original franchise or something? Is this perhaps a hint? Or have I gone completely insane with wishful thinking? No one who really knows at this point, but I guess we'll just have to see in September when the Tokyo Games happen. So, this brings us to what could we possibly expect, assuming that I'm actually right? Okay, so everything is underwater, I was right, etc., yada yada. What can we expect in the new entry of the franchise? Well, as it goes to the tradition of every Monster Hunter game, we can expect new monsters, new environments, etc., new game mechanics, and very diverse forms of environments and creatures that we may or may not be able to collect or use. I mean, try introduce stamina in underwater. 4 and 4 Ultimate introduced verticality. Generations introduced monster riding. And heck, World and Iceborne introduced turf wars. So, we can most certainly assume that a lot of that will come into play. Shit! We may actually introduce a new mechanic entirely. Sorry guys, it's Future Young Guy here. I think what my past idiot self meant to say was that 3rd gen introduced the stamina bar, 4th gen introduced verticality, and 5th gen revitalized the series and introduced turf wars and everything that we now know in the 5th gen. And the 6th gen may include something else entirely. Now, alright, just wanted to clarify that. Back to the show. Combining all 3 of those entirely, like, I don't know, we can look at a game like Assassin's Creed, where we can actually fight the monster as a form of whaling or something. And no, I am not talking about being stuck on a small boat and throwing spears at it. No. You know the grappling hook from World and Iceborne? Well, picture that. You shoot it at a coral reef or something, and you pull yourself to make your swimming go faster. But you can also use that said mechanic to shoot at the monster, and you can fight it until the monster shakes off the harpoon, and you have to shoot it again. Or instead of that, you can also fight with what I would call a palofin. Something like a palico and a palamute. Yeah, I know, not so creative name. Please bear with me. I mean, I would imagine a palofin would actually be the aquatic equivalent to a palamute. Basically a dolphin that you can ride on to help you swim faster, or, you know, basically function very much like the palamutes. Or if you want to get something really simple, you could just add steel boots. You know, have a diving suit like back in the old days. I mean, there wouldn't have to be a swim mechanic at all. Now, come into play, I actually took a liberty to give a few doodles on what I may envision that may go into this franchise. So instead of me talking about it, I'm just go ahead and stay quiet and give a few brief written descriptions about the monsters I have taken the liberty to create myself. So enjoy. Yeah, okay, I know some of these doodles aren't exactly digital art masterpieces, but at least I try, okay? But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this and this brief video, and it's actually a lot shorter than I expected as of the creating of this video, but without further ado, I did promise that there would be a surprise aside from, you know, my, oh so great doodling skills. So, and it may not be a surprise to some of you older viewers and those that have actually followed me on Twitter. But anyway, without further ado, here is the surprise I promised you! My new form. Behold! My newfound power! I'm no longer just a Google image. I am now fully animated VTuber Anime Desu! That is what VTubers say, right? I don't know, but anyway, I'm glad I actually moved stuff now! I'll be doing another proper introduction for those newer, but in the meantime, a few Ammonites enjoyed what I got going on. Yes! I actually do have new lore for this channel, so this is a lot of exciting. More details on the upcoming introduction to my VTuber models. So do please, if you enjoyed what you're seeing here, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, get lucky today, and become an Ammonite. Yes, I am calling you Ammonites now. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter as well. Also, having a proper announcement to whatever else is going on for the future. And as always, we'll see you in the next time. Yeah, bye!